My name is Tyler Wenzel, and I'm an educator. I work with students throughout Latin America. In my job, I provide feedback to students after live class instruction. And I'm one of the specialists for my institution at answering written questions from students. In just the last year, I've answered over 20,000 questions from students. And that's only been possible because of the help I get from Annotate PRO. I'd like to share with you how Annotate PRO can help you as a teacher to be more effective and efficient in your workflow and provide quality instruction to your students. Annotate PRO is a tool that installs right in your web browser. It's a way to effectively organize feedback and answers to common questions that your students might ask. With just the click of a mouse or the helpful search button, you can find in your personal library comments that you've written and saved. We also have available libraries with comments already written up that cover things like formatting, mechanics, and other frequent issues that you as a teacher run into. Why is it so useful? Think of how much time you spend typing out detailed answers or repeating yourself over and over with the same common mistakes that students make. Wouldn't you rather dedicate your time to answering new questions or providing quality instruction rather than having to repeat yourself over and over? That's the goal of Annotate PRO. It allows you to rapidly address issues and save the work that you've done to be reused in the future. Let's look at an example from a Canvas course of how we can harness the power of Annotate PRO in an effective discussion setting. Here we have an intermediate level English as a second language course. I've left my students an assignment to choose which sentences have some mistakes. Speaking from experience, prepositions are one of the most difficult things to master in the English language. Because of that, I've already dedicated time to writing out explanations to help my students when they have questions about this. Annotate PRO lives right in the browser. For example, here we have a sidebar, and we have our library. This is a library of over 250 comments that I have written over my time as an educator. Let's look at some of the examples we have here. The first student said that number 2 and number 5 are incorrect. He's right, but he didn't explain why. Now, that's not something that takes very long to type. I can just say, "Thanks, please explain." Not much time savings there by saving that comment. But what if a student has an incorrect answer and they've confused these two prepositions, the words on and the words in? Well, let's reply to this student and explain that preposition. If we go to my library, it's organized into different groups. This is a grammar topic. And within the group, I have subgroups to keep all my comments organized. This is an issue of prepositions, and I've explained the difference between in versus on. Now, in this case, we're talking about a sentence that involves time, so I can get rid of the second part of this comment. And now I just have to add a few things like, "Thank you, Lucy," and let me provide some clarification. So that's one way to insert comments. We can look through our library of comments. However, there are other ways. For example, we also have a right-click menu. The next student needs some help. They're asking for help actually in Spanish. And let's do that for them. So we can go through our library again. And I have one written in Spanish that covers the 3 prepositions we're talking about. Easy to insert. In fact, because this is one of the most common questions I get, I've saved it as a favorite, so I don't have to go through all those menus. I can just click it from right here, and it would insert it that way as well. Now, I speak English and I speak Spanish. My Portuguese, though, is not that great, and my student John here is asking to explain it in Portuguese. How can I help him? One tool that you can access in the paid version of Annotate Pro is the ability to automatically translate your comments, harnessing the power of Google Translate. If we go to the quick settings here, I can enable Show Translate. And now I can say I want to translate, let's take my Spanish comment to Portuguese. It'll translate better since Spanish and Portuguese are both Romance languages. So, now I am going to respond to my student John. I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to select my comment. It's going to run it through this translator, and automatically it's been translated. Quick and easy. Think how long it would take to type out this entire explanation of prepositions, especially in a language that's not your first language. But with the power of Annotate Pro, you're able to effectively explain something in a short period of time. Those organizational menus are great at keeping things in order. But sometimes you just need to have a big bin full of comments. In teaching English as a second language, some of the most frequent questions are the difference between similar words. An easy way to find answers that you have written is by using the search function. There's a few ways to access it. Here, our student Susan is asking the difference between the words smart and clever. We can go to this search button here and type in the word smart. And you can see there's already a comment for smart and clever. We can also hit Alt-A on our keyboard to open the search menu that appears here in our browser window. In addition to being a great tool for organizing and inserting comments, the paid version of Annotate Pro has powerful analytics tools. This allows me to determine where my students are most having challenges. For example, here are 586 comments that I inserted during a 2-week period. I can see that the most challenging aspects for them were verbs, prepositions, and different types of words and how they're used. Then, within that, I can find out the exact things that were challenging them. For example, with verbs, they had the biggest challenge with the verb to do and why we add an S to the end of third-person singular verbs. By knowing how frequently I'm having to explain things, it helps me identify problem areas in the curriculum or ways that I could better teach that subject so it's more clear for the students. Annotate Pro has helped me so much as an educator that I now actively work with 11 Trees to continue to improve it. It's a great tool, and it's available for free. Install it. Try it. If you have any questions, send us a message or schedule a meeting. We'd be happy to demo it. You can use it for free as an individual teacher, or you can have it set up for your institution with additional features like the ability to share between teachers or departments, analytics for your entire departmental team, and other great features that will help you to be a more effective teacher. Check it out.